Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my pretty late review for Tokyo Ravens, episode 20. And if you saw my Hunter x Hunter review, then you know why it was late, because I had a paper I had to do today, so I was working on that all night yesterday, along with a group project I had to work on, so for some reason my work always piles up on Tuesday nights. Next week it probably will too, because I think I have an exam on Wednesday. But yeah, that's why the review is late. Probably going to be late next week too. Um, but yeah, as I thought this episode was really good, if not better than that. It starts off with it skipped the opening, so you knew something was going to go down. All right, when an anime skips the opening, you know something's about to go down. Okay, so they skip the opening to show like flashbacks of how, when, and why Natsume created Hokuto, why she kept having Hokuto run away, and she couldn't get up the nerve to go up to Harutora and stuff. We got the feelings behind her actions and everything. Things make more sense. So that was cool. That was cool. Um, but once that happens, after that we go to like real time. Her and Harutora, they go to get shaved ice or snow cones or whatever you want to call them. And she wants to tell him about Hokuto, right? But his snow cone starts dripping on his pants. Apparently he didn't feel that. I don't know how, but somehow somehow he didn't feel it. Natsume had to go and tell him. So he wipes it off and leaves to go wash his hands. And this is when the one-armed dude shows up, right? I completely forgot about this dude. And we learn later on in the episode that this dude's actually Kakugyoki, right? One of the familiars of Yako Tsuchimikado, alright? That's big, alright? And this dude, he starts talk. Well, there was a small flashback here too about with him talking to Sugu, about the Raven's coat or the Raven's wing. Um, I I'm not sure what in this episode they called it the Raven's wing, but I watched it from a different fan subgroup now, so I don't know if it's the same thing as the Raven coat. Probably, I'll just call it Raven's wing since you know what it ended up being. um, but yeah, the Ravens wing. They're talking about the Ravens wing and everything. And when he looks at Harutor, he can see that he is cursed in some way, shape, or form. Someone put a curse on him, and he tells Natsume not to let Harutor wear the Raven's wing because it could kill him. All right, and Natsume recognizes him, and we see later on she's talking with Toji, and they confirm. Well, they don't confirm, but they say this dude's probably Kakugyoki. All right. But after that, we switch to Genji and uh, what's his name? Shido Dairenji and Chihiro and Soma. And they're talking about why it's a big deal that Natsume is a girl. And it's because Genji and Mio, alright, they witnessed Yasuzumi's child being born, and it was definitely a boy. Okay? So that means Harutora is Yasuzumi's son, not Natsume. They switched the babies around. Natsume is from the branch family. Harutora is from the main family. He is the son of Yasuzumi and that one girl's name who I didn't care enough to remember. Um, and that explains why Harutora didn't look like his freaking parents. That's why, because they aren't his parents. But yeah, that's last week in my review. I'm pretty sure I mentioned something about some event that happened where because of that event Mia would be incredibly sure that Yasuzumi's son is a boy. Well, there it is. She saw him being born. So yeah, that's the event I was looking for. Her and Genji saw Harutora being born. So the pieces of the puzzle start to fall in place. Everything starts to come together. All the secrets get revealed. All the knowledge comes to us here. Um, and we end up, so well, there was the Kakugyoki scene after that, but everyone ends up coming together, going to the fireworks festival thing, and there's a lot of stuff here. It's just festival stuff, really, about the same, pretty much the same thing that happened in episode 1. Except instead of being with Hokuto, Haruto's by himself, and then Natsume is with Kyoko. It's right. It's whatever. I just don't. I'm just not the kind of person who cares about that stuff, whether it be festivals or party chapters or party episodes. Whatever. I'm just not. I just don't care about that kind of thing. But yeah, they're having a good time. I mean, yeah, I guess they had a good time. And once it's time for the fireworks to start, Kyoko comes up with an excuse to get Harutora away from everyone, and she pushes Natsume forward, saying, hey, you go with him. This is your chance to tell him about Hokuto. And she goes to tell him, but he kind of figures it out for himself before she could actually say it. And she was about to say it, but then Soma showed up, which I figured. I wanted to actually hear Natsume say it, but no, it wasn't meant to be. Soma came and interrupted, and she started that same chant she did the last episode, counting up to 10, and she went farther this time because she wasn't stopped. And the mark on Harutora's cheek starts to react again, and it's like lighting up, and like light particles are coming into the air and stuff, and it looks like he's in pain. And Natsume tried to stop it. She tried to help him out, but she couldn't because Chihiro kept interfering. Even Hokuto couldn't do anything. Then Toji and Suzuka showed up. They couldn't do anything either. And eventually Toji and Tenma, or Kyoko and Tenma showed up, but it's Kyoko and Tenma. Obviously, they aren't going to do anything. So they fail. They all fail. They all pretty much get their butts kicked by Chihiro. And this is when Soma starts talking. She reveals the secret that Harutora is in fact Yasusumi's son. That Natsume is the one from the branch family. That Harutora is the real reincarnation of Yako. She mentions how Yasusumi put a curse on him, and he sealed Harutora's magic power. And Natsume ends up thinking about this later on because, well, what ends up happening is that Soma releases the Raven's wing. It turns into a bird, fuses with Harutora. He transforms, loses control, flies away. He gets possessed, and everyone tries to go after him. Well, not everyone. Natsume, Yukikaze, Hokuto, Suzuka, and Toji. They go after him. And Natsume, this is what she starts to think about, how Soma mentioned a curse, how Harutora was cursed. Kakagyoki mentioned how Harutora was cursed. Otomo mentioned that he had some unnatural man-made condition. So she starts to realize what exactly the curse was. She realizes that, it's for Harutora, a member of the Tsuchimikado, to not be a spirit seer, but to have as much spirit energy as he has. It just doesn't make sense. So she realizes that the curse that her father put on Harutora was to seal away his abilities as a Onmyoji, as a spirit seer, so that people didn't suspect him as being the reincarnation of Yako. And the spell that she put on Harutora, the mark on his cheek, that didn't give him the ability to become a spirit seer. What it did was weaken the curse that her father put on, that Yasuzumi put on him. Okay, and this goes back to what Kakagyoki said before, because he said that she did a half-baked job, and because she didn't do a good enough job with that seal, that's why he's losing control. So she realizes that in order to fix Harutora, I guess it's a bad way to explain it, but bad way to phrase it, but in order to stop Harutora from losing control, she has to fully eliminate the curse. In order to do that, instead of just using her blood, putting her blood on the surface of his body, she actually kisses him this time. And that, I don't know how exactly that eliminates the curse because of anime and romance. It's just how romance anime work. That's how shipping works. A kiss can heal anything, right? A kiss can heal anything, right? A kiss can heal anything, and defeating someone can cancel out whatever thing is threatening the world, alright? Those are like the two things that always happen in anime. In animation in general. But yeah, she kisses Harutora, fixes everything up. However, in the process, she actually gets pierced by a bunch of feathers. And she seemingly dies after saving Harutora. And I'm not sure how to take this. Like, I don't want her to die, because she's a good character. I like her character. I don't want her to die, but at the same time, I don't like it when people do fake death scenes. So, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. The death scene is supposed to draw out the emotion and make you sad that the character is dying. But if they just counter later on, it just makes you feel like a loser for feeling anything in the first place. So, like, I don't want it to be a fake death scene, but at the same time, I didn't want her to die. Like, if she dies, then where does the series go from here? I mean, yeah, I mean, where does the series go from here if she dies? Although, to be fair, her only, I mean, it's kind of mean to say this, but her only role in the series was as the reincarnation of Yako, as the genius Tsuchimikado kid. But if that's really Haratora, then she essentially loses her identity, pretty much. So, I mean, if she did die, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, the series wouldn't really be impacted. Um, I mean, it would lose a good character, obviously, but in terms of like character roles and everything, Natsume's role is technically over now that she's not the reincarnation of Yako anymore. I mean, there are ways that her character could be of use. That Harutora and her could pretty much switch roles. Natsume was the Yako reincarnation, and Harutora wanted to support her. Well, the roles can reverse now, and Natsume can be the person who wants to support Harutora. He helped her through all of her troubles. Now she wants to be the one to repay him, now that he's in the same situation. So it's not like... So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to assume that she really is. I don't read the light novel, so I don't. Is the light novel complete? Is it still ongoing? Like I don't. Let me look it up actually. Let me look. No, I don't even have my browser open. I don't feel like doing it. All right, screw it. I don't know where the series can go from here. I don't. Well, I know where it can go. I just don't know where it is going to go. Yeah, it's that ending. It's disappointing, sad, but at the same time, it was still a great scene. As a matter of fact, it was a great episode. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was great. There were some slow parts with the festival stuff, the shaved ice scenes, you know, but still, it was still a great episode with what happened in the end, with all this Soma, Yako, Harutora, Natsume stuff, plus the Kakugyoki thing, Genji, and his little flashback information bit there. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10 overall and say it was a great episode. But there's only what 4 or 5 episodes left, so it's possible that she might get brought back. I mean, it's people have been brought back before. Look at Shido Dairenji and Chihiro Mutabe. I mean, people have been brought back before. Soma. It's not impossible. What's her name? Suzuka's brother, technically. Haruto probably wouldn't want to do that. Maybe they'll create a freaking familiar that looks like Natsume created Hokuto. Who knows? I wouldn't count Natsume out of the series just yet. But I think the Natsume that we know is now dead. Whether she comes back legitimately, or if she comes back as like a resurrection, like Shido Dairenji, or some familiar, whether she comes back like that, I'll still consider that a different Natsume because her role as a character will be different. But one thing's for certain is that the Natsume that we knew is now dead, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. Like I said before, the episode gets a 9 out of 10. I thought it was great, and that's it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. What